Hi. This rain practice is for when you are seeking calm and cleansing energy. So, whether it becomes a nightly ritual for you, or you pull it out after a busy day, or you are actually looking to set intentions of cleansing towards something specific in your life, this is a practice to offer up grounding, calming, cleansing energy for your mind, your body, and your heart. In tonight's practice, I am going to utilize a yoga block. And if you don't have a yoga block at home, then you can definitely use a yoga bolster. And if you don't have a yoga bolster at home, then pull some pillows off of your bed or off of your couch and they'll work just fine. I'm also going to incorporate selenite into my practice. Selenite is known as the ultimate cleansing stone. I love the calming, deep, peaceful energy with selenite, and I love to utilize it in my intention practices when I am seeking to cleanse something or just seeking that really calming energy. Just one little piece of advice with selenite: you never want to put it in water, so don't leave it out in the rain. Don't put it in your bathtub. It's such a fragile and gentle stone that it will literally melt it. I'm going to use this smaller piece either at my heart center or at my third eye center during class. So I'll probably just keep this next to my mat. And then I also have a larger selenite stick or selenite wand that I'll place above my crown chakra at the top of my yoga mat. And there is a link to a RAIN playlist in the description below. So click on it. There's a couple RAIN soundtracks, some with thunder, some more calming rain. Choose the one that sounds good to you and pop that baby on. I'm going to meet you on your mat laying down on your back. So we'll start laying down on our back in supported bridge tonight. Roll down onto your spine. Send your heels in towards your hips and the soles of your feet down to the ground. Then press into the soles of your feet so that it lifts your hips up off of your mat. Take your prop and place it underneath your hips. So right underneath your sacrum. I like to use the widest side of the block underneath my hips like this, but you could definitely up level it a little bit if you'd like. You'll notice that the higher you go with your prop, the more lengthening you're going to feel on your lower spine. And if you are going to use selenite or another favorite cleansing crystal, you can place it at your heart center or your third eye center. Maybe just hold it in your hand. I'm going to place selenite at my heart center for this practice. Anytime you're seeking grounding, calming energy, it really helps to place your palms down onto your yoga mat. You can also place your palms to your belly and let that rise and fall of your breath really lull you into calm. Close your eyes and take the first few breaths here just to notice the ground underneath the soles of your feet, underneath your sacrum, your back, your head. Take your first few breaths as well to notice the soundtrack of rain. That calming sound where it just rocks you into that sleepy state. Nothing else to think about except the rhythm of your breath if that assists you, or completely get lost in the sound. And if you feel your thoughts drift throughout practice tonight, just allow them to come back over your next few breaths towards the rain sound or towards the rhythm of your breath. Take your last few breaths in supported bridge. Just notice how supported you are. And all that shifted just even in the first few minutes of your practice. And when you're ready, press back into the soles of your feet to lift your hips up off of your mat. If your crystal's kind of shaky on you, you might want to remove it, but we are going to remain on our spine for this practice, so it might be just fine where it's at. Let's tuck knees into our chest and find a little side to side sway. I love to come into this lower back massage just to even things out in my spine, re-neutralize a bit. And then we'll reset in pentacle pose or constructive rest. So I'm going to show you constructive rest first. If you're newer to it, this is a good option in case you find a little tension in your lower spine when you go to pentacle. Constructive rest is just like supported bridge without the prop underneath your hips, except the soles of your feet are to the outside of your mat, and you'll let your knees drip in towards one another. So that's the alternative if pentacle doesn't feel good. For pentacle, from your knees being in your chest, extend your feet out away from you. Reach your fingertips up above your head. Big stretch like you're waking up in the morning. Huge inhale. Then open mouth, exhale. Let your arms fall down above your head. So you're in this star-like Shavasana kind of pose. We'll come to pentacle or constructive rest throughout practice as a reset for our spine. In Supine Ardha Chandrasana, we're going to draw both feet over to the right corner of our mat. So I'm going to inch my right foot over and then scooch my left foot all the way over towards my right foot. Then my left hip is going to scooch over to the left side of my mat and my upper body back to the right. So it actually looks like a half moon or a crescent moon if you were looking at yourself from an aerial view above you. You can cactus your arms by bending through your elbows if that feels good. If you're looking for a little bit more sensation through that left side body, you can reach towards opposite wrist, forearm, or elbow above your head. You can also lift your left leg up and over, place it on top of your right foot. You may notice your left hip popping up off the ground a little bit and gravity kind of pulling it back down. That's totally normal sensation here. Sometimes you'll feel this pose all the way from your left elbow down to your toes. Other times it might be more isolated towards your hip or your rib cage. And what you'll probably notice right away is that your left rib cage is stretching and opening, all those intercostal muscles opening up. So each breath that you're taking here is literally opening them more. Concentrate on lengthy inhales, sighing out your exhales. And we're just about halfway through, so nothing to change at all. Just allow yourself to drift into deeper breaths if that feels accessible to you. And when you're ready to change, gently release your grip at your hands. Uncross your left leg if it was crossed over. Head back towards neutral, head above your feet. And we'll tuck knees to chest once more, coming back to your side to side sway. Reach back towards pentacle or constructive rest once you're even in your spine. Big inhale to stretch it out. Exhale, plop down. Supine Ardha Chandrasana on the other side. This time we're walking left foot towards the left corner of your mat. Your right foot is following it, so both feet towards the left corner. Scooch your hips over to the right side and then your upper body back to the left. You can cactus through your arms, reach for opposite wrist, forearm, or elbow. You could cross that right leg up and over your left if that feels good to you. You may notice some differences side to side. We are all a little bit more flexible and open on one side and strong on the other side, so it's totally normal to have those differences. Just fall right back into the rhythm of your breath that you left off in the other side. And we're just about halfway through. Take your last few breaths here. Feel that opening strong through your right rib cage. And then release your grip, uncross your right leg from your left, head back towards neutral. And let's tuck knees to chest, back to your side to side sway. Rock it out. And towards pentacle or constructive rest, take an even bigger inhale than you did last time. Sigh out your exhale and melt down even more. And walk your heels back in towards your body. Soles of your feet to the ground. We're going to cross right leg on top of our left. So right knee crosses on top of your left knee. For Supta Gomukhasana, we'll tuck knees back towards chest. And it doesn't matter how close they are to your chest, really personal preference. You're going to reach your hands towards your opposite leg. So right hand will reach towards your left shin, left hand towards your right shin, anywhere between your knees and your ankles. And if it doesn't feel great to cup your arms or your hands from the top of your shins, then cup underneath your calves instead. And you can keep this pose pretty passive here, or you can actually pull your legs towards your body. You'll notice the sensation between your hamstrings and your glutes. This pose is way more active in through your arms, but allow the rest of your body to just relax. We're not holding this one for as long. And gently release your feet. We're going to keep that cross at our knees though. You might want to have your prop handy. So if your right knee is crossed on top of your left, then you'll drop both knees over to the left. And so it might be nice to have that prop for underneath your knees. This is called twisted roots. And I do like to untuck my bottom hip slightly so that my right hip kind of ish stacks on top of my bottom hip, but it doesn't really stack completely all the way with my legs crossed this way. So just keep that in mind. Don't force anything. The prop could feel really good underneath your knees. If you are just not loving this pose though, feel free to uncross that upper leg and just come back to easy twist. And then you'll allow your right shoulder to melt back to the earth behind you. You could cactus through your arms if that feels good, or you can reach your arms down, placing your palms to the ground. Focus on some lengthy inhales here. Create space so that on your exhales, your body just naturally falls into that twist. Last few breaths here. And when you're ready to change, gently head back towards center. You can uncross right knee from over your left and come back to your sway. And this time, instead of heading towards pentacle, we're going to head right towards the other side. So place the sole of your right foot down on the ground. Cross your left knee up and over. Heading back towards Supta Mukhasana, this time knees towards chest again. Hands either on top of your shins or cupping below your calves. And again, kind of hip stuff and shoulder stuff is where you might notice a big difference side to side. So you really might notice the difference in how close your knees are to your chest or how much you're pulling at your hands. Come to your starting expression for this side, and then allow your breath to take over. Last few breaths. Release at your grip. This time, if left knee is crossed up and over your right, you're going to drop both knees over to the right side. So you might slightly scooch that right hip from underneath you. Maybe you're placing a prop underneath your knees. And once you get situated, allow your left shoulder to melt back down towards your mat. Lengthy inhales, relaxing exhales. Last few breaths here. And when you're ready to change, head back towards center. You can bring your prop out of the way. Uncross left leg from your right. Come back to your side to side sway. Massage it out. To ground down through our lower spine, just like we began our practice with in supported bridge, we're going to take happy baby pose. So bend through your knees as much as you'd like. Send the soles of your feet up towards the sky. You can reach your hands to the inside or towards the outside of your feet with bent knees or with straight legs. And before you find any movement, if that's what you're craving, just really press your sacrum, so your lower spine, down into your mat. And then you can either come into stillness, or if that swaying sensation feels amazing today, go for a little sway side to side. And we'll come back to some stillness together for a few breaths. Check in again that your lower back is pressing down to your mat. And when you're ready, tuck knees to your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, big squeeze as you tuck forehead up to your knees. Huge inhale breath. Then open mouth, exhale to final Shavasana. Lengthen your legs away from your body, right toes away from your left. Your knees melt away from one another. Let your palms flip to the sky. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Exhale your breath out. Find a really large inhale breath, almost so big your heart feels like it's lifting up to the sky. Open mouth, exhale. And allow the sound of the rain to wash over your body. Maybe coming back to your intention for a moment before focusing on the soundtrack. If you would love a longer Shavasana today, then please stay exactly where you are. You can let my voice fade off into the background, or you could roll over, turn this off, and just head back to Shavasana. But if you're ready for some movement, start by wiggling your toes and your fingers. Bring some energy back in. Shake out your legs, shake out your arms. Squeeze every muscle from your head to your toes. Big inhale. Exhale, release, and let it go. Tuck your right knee to your chest. Your left knee to your chest. Back to your side-to-side sway. And this time, we're going to sway it so strong, side to side, that you eventually just naturally fall over to one side into a fetal position. Plop down. Crystal might fall off of your chest or your forehead like mine just did. All good. When you're ready, come to a seated position. Press yourself up. Sit to Sukhasana with your legs crossed, or Seiza pose, hips to heels. And if you were practicing with the crystal, you can grab it once more. Hold it in your palms for a moment. Notice the cleansing effect that this time you've just given yourself has had. Almost as if you've melted away anything that was on your mind, anything physically in your body. And take note if there's anything that moving forward you'd like to carry with you into your evening, the next day, the next week, month, or year. And we'll send hands to Anjali Mudra, heart center, palms come together. On your next inhale, lift your hands to your third eye center, and then bow down in a major bow to yourself for showing up to your own self-care. Namaste. Thank you so much, friends, for joining me in this RAIN practice today. I hope that it served you today. I hope that it serves you over and over again when you are looking for that calm and cleansing practice. It is so lovely always to practice with you. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'll see you on your mat next time. Namaste.